This is marking paint, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with it. We're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna dream up something. What's going on, everybody? There's Diego and Frida, and then one of the Fly Rivers. I'm cleaning out their tubs. And you guys know me, you know I hate keeping animals in tubs. I think it's boring. These guys have been moved because, of course, the original recreation pond that Aquascape built is now loaded with lilies, and I wanted to keep the lilies going. But right now, these guys are in these tubs, and I have to drain them and fill them, and they come on automatic watering. It's a big pain in the neck. But I had some great news from my friend Ed Ballou, the pond professor, over at Aquascape. Here is one of the Fly Rivers, a really cool species of turtle. Oh, look at this. They got the algae on them. Oh my gosh, this one's just kind of hanging out. But what's really cool about these turtles is, of course, they have these flippers. And then, oh God, they have the flippers, and they're the only freshwater turtle that swim exactly like a sea turtle.
Thank you to all our loyal Patreon members out there who have helped to create an amazing reptile community online with us. This week's shout out goes to Maggie Weitzman.
And they are really cool species, although they're extremely aggressive to each other and other turtles, which is why Diego is isolated, because he had his foot almost eaten off. But that foot is doing much better now. Let's have a look at it. Look at this. Look at that foot. It's healed up nicely. Very, very good. I love you, Diego. We're going to get you set up, buddy. You don't worry, man. Because as I was explaining to you guys, let me grab some of this. This is marking paint, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to dream up something. So I was speaking to Ed, the pond professor, and they do their winter retreats where they have about 75 to 100 Aquascape certified contractors, the CACs, certified Aquascape contractors, and they come on down and they learn how to build ponds, the latest techniques, the latest products that Aquascape makes, and they find a cool location year after year. Now, luckily for me, I happen to be a cool location, and I live right down the block from another cool location, which is Bush Wildlife. And it turns out they had such a good time last year at Bush Wildlife that they decided to come back and do something for their mountain lion exhibit, which is really, really cool. And then I got to thinking, or not me, I didn't get to thinking, they got to thinking, well, hey, let's build something to Kenan's house. And knowing me and that I'm some kind of pond addict here, I said yes instantly. And originally I was going to build something over by the other rec pond, but I've got all this electric and irrigation and all those lines would be a big hassle. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, look at this area right here. This is a cool area, and I can clean up this bamboo. We have the giant bamboo right here. I can easily lift this out. This is a higher, drier area of my yard, so I'm not worried about over flooding or anything like that. Plus, in speaking with Ed, we can excavate quite a bit of soil and build up a berm around this with rock and so on that will retain it. So maybe we'll only have to dig down about 2.5 foot, and then we'll go up about 2 foot, and we'll have a nice 4 foot deep pond, which would be really, really cool. So what I'm doing here, and what I want you guys to hang out with me, is because let's make a shape. Let me show you what's going on. This is going to be a wetland filtered pond, which is amazing. It's my favorite way to filter the ponds. They're going to use their AquaSurge pumps, and I thought, we're up there's Lumpy right there, and the cool thing is Lumpy will still be able to live here, which will be awesome. But what we're going to do is just kind of mark out a rough idea. I'm just kind of thinking, if we're pulling up soil here, this is going to be our wetland, right? So you've got this wetland area, and let's see what we got. Got some white. Let's just see what we got here. Now, again, our friend Ed is going to really know what the proper dimensions are going to be for a wetland. Okay, so this could potentially get bigger. But I want to use this. We're going to build up soil around it. This will be a natural retaining wall, and it'll still be a functional barrier or a functional bunker for the animals. So I'm thinking this whole area is going to be a wetland, okay? And then I just kind of like the idea of a waterfall Okay, so you got your waterfall here, and then maybe a little stream. Let's just block that off. There's a waterfall. Now let's have a stream. Let's have a bit of a stream wandering down. And that's the fun thing about all this. Of course, the stream's gonna be wider. I'm doing this so we can give Ed some measurements and get an idea of what the overall footprint will be. I just got off the phone with him. But a little stream here, and then perhaps another waterfall, right? So, being that we got the fly rivers and the badager, they're a large species. So what I want to do is go as big as I possibly can. So let's just go hog wild, friends. Let's see. Come on out. Come on out. We got this cool palmetto area. This will be our getting in. But the cool thing about ponds, it's a free-flowing design. And it can potentially change. So we can come around and then just wind up back here. So this is pretty good size. This is a pretty good sized pond. What do you guys think? Let's stand back and look at this. That's a lot of, there's a lot of fumes. You got your wetland back there. You got a little bit of a stream, but I'm more interested in having this big kind of pond. I'll change the gate up here, but as far as access, we've got access. I think that'll work. I think that'll work, friends. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've got water over there. What if we nix this? Because I do want to be able to kind of get in here. So what if we kind of came around a little bit more like this? Okay? We use this area and then come back up. Don't give up on me now. Let me see how I like that shape. What do you think? Is that shape better? We're using more of an area. I think if we come around, that'll be pretty cool. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Okay? Because this way you can walk in and still have a viewing area here, but we then have access around. We've got water. I can plumb right into there to help fill this up on a timer. But we'll have the wetland up there, and I think this gives us a nice look, a really free-flowing design. We're going to use some retaining wall material, some landscape wall underwater here. You won't see that, but it'll give us more volume of water, whereas the rocks, when we place them on the edge, they kind of jut out and you get less water. So this will be pretty cool. Lumpy's like, what's going on here, man? Yeah, dude, we're gonna give you some beachfront. Oh, by the way, did I say beachfront? Yes, I did. We're gonna make a beach entry to this with the hopes that these guys will be able to lay eggs. In fact, maybe we'll have the beach entry over here. We can just kind of have a bit of a beach entry on this side, because this would allow me to look in from over here and see these guys if they're up making a nest. And then there's that natural higher elevation at the moment. There's my buddy Lumpy. We rarely see this guy. Hi, bud. How you doing? You're gonna get a little beachfront property, pal. I think you'll enjoy it. He'll be able to drink from it. I'm not worried about him drowning in it. They're pretty smart about staying out of deep water. So not really worried about that at all. I can easily take this fence out with my machine. We're gonna create a wider area to get the machine in. We can dig from here back. And as we excavate this, we're gonna be putting soil up here and creating that kind of really nice berm that up in this area, we're gonna have a bit of a topography. Big boulders here. We'll have the wetland, beautiful plants in the wetland, and then it'll flow into our main pond. And I'm digging that. I think that's just a good idea. Of course, you know, you plan these things out and then they do kind of change. But let's go ahead and see what we're working with as far as the measurements. We just need to give him kind of a rough estimate as to how big this is going to be. So the footprint itself. So I'm actually going to start here. Okay. We got to go from the widest part, the longest part rather. let's see, I don't know how big this tape is. 15 feet. Okay, good. It's long enough. Look at that. Whoop. 22 foot. Oh, hold on, guys. 23 foot. So it's a 25 foot tape. So that is, we'll say, make it bigger. So that's 22 foot. All right, there's 22 foot here. Now, let's see from here to here what it is. The widest part. Again, these are rough estimates. All right, 22 plus 12 is 34 foot. So that's about 34 foot. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, 34 foot this way, 34 foot long. Now, the widest part, we're looking at, I wish he had opposable thumbs that he could actually hold this tape. I don't think it's gonna work. Let me set you guys right over here. Just hang tight. Don't go anywhere, I just really need to measure. And I need both hands. Should be cool. This is our widest part. Uh-oh. All right, so here's 30 right there. And then we go, let's see. All right, so 36 feet. So 32 by 36 feet, and it'll be probably excavating a 5 foot hole. Whew, that's deep. 32 by 36. Holy smokes. Let me write that down before I forget it. This is going to be exciting. All right, so anyhow, yeah, what did I say? 32 wide. Or is that 32 long? Doesn't matter. Let's just do this. 32 times 36. Footprint. I'm texting Ed. There you go. Anyhow, pretty exciting. I can kind of see this being a really cool pond for those guys. I like that they're Asian turtles. We've got bamboos here. That'll be neat. You know, we'll trim them up. There'll be a nice backdrop. Maybe have some telephone pole as retaining wall. Okay, coming down. There'll be the beach. There'll be some big boulders and stones all around. We'll have the retaining wall here. Of course, we'll have an intake bay, which I would imagine is right there. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. The intake bay. We have to consider that. That might work out just perfect. Holy smokes, you're seeing things as the genesis of them. All right, very cool. Yeah, I think so. Then that changes the length, but awesome, man. I'm digging this. This is going to be really, really cool. So I'm going to text him a photo of this after we get off the video. Let's go see our turtles and make sure they're okay. So I get stoked on stuff like this, friends. I love changing up the place and adding to it. We're gonna clean up in here. We're gonna have a fence here so you can't see any of the off display items. But this is kind of cool because we have water on that end of the property, water in the middle, water in the back, but no water right here. And I think that would look really nice, especially when we do a tour or something, have folks come in, they can walk in. The first thing they see are gonna be these really beautiful Asian turtles. Again, the cool thing about touring with me is I don't mind getting dirty to pull the animals out and show you. So that's gonna be cool. And then of course we have the Asian turtles here. Now, what else is neat is with this habitat, it is going to be for the larger species, but hey, who knows? Maybe we'll have more room for more turtles, which I think is awesome. Get this little Japanese wood turtle female. She is such a character. Oh, she's cruising over there. Where'd she go? it is awesome seeing these guys in this habitat. You guys know I love my Aquascape ecosystem ponds. This place is just amazing. The area around the pond is just as interesting as the pond itself. They create this riparian habitats, and those are habitats that are close to water, the fringes of water. And that's why we have, of course, our beautiful tortoises. We got Circe and the radiated tortoises living here very happily. And then, of course, all the other animals doing their thing up and around this area. So really, really stoked to have yet another ecosystem pond being built by, in my opinion, the best in the business. And I really love these events. Oh, hello there. I love these events because I get to meet all the contractors who are more than just contractors, they're artists. These people put together such amazing habitats. And when they come here and see my place, if they've never been here before, they get to see how the animals truly interact with these habitats. And how about this, some more Flavo Marginata. Just right there, look at that. Just hanging out, just doing their thing. It's like a whole nother world underneath these leaves and trees and stuff like that, all these bushes. So it's kind of fun to kind of imagine what we're gonna do over there. I guess I got a bit of a sickness in me, you know. I love, ever since I was a little boy, always loved going down to Kaler's Pond in East Moriches, Long Island, looking for turtles, finding frogs and fish and all the creatures that lived around the ponds. And so, believe me when I tell you, I spend so much time out here amongst my animals. I enjoy the work that's involved with it. You know, when Aquascape leaves, then I really get into it and I detail things, and it always becomes so much fun adding the animals to it and just seeing the animals flourish. But I do enjoy the work that's required to continually keep up these ponds and plant them and decorate them with logs. We're gonna have plenty of logs. I'm gonna be cutting down some trees, so we'll really be able to do some cool stuff here. So let's come on over here, see how we're looking. I like to drain this once a week just to make sure these animals have clean water. And look at Frida. She is about a 60-pound aquatic turtle. The Badager are some of the largest water turtles in the world. This is Badager affinis. It's a genus of turtles found in Southeast Asia. There's Badager basca. There's some Badager up in India a little bit. There's Badager like the Royal River terrapin here. And there's also Badager borneensis. So they are large, they are beautiful, they are very interesting. Some of them go through breeding colors, like our Badager borneensis, of which I have two variety in the pond out front. I can show you those in a minute. Those Badager actually change color when they go into breed. Now Frida here has lost her Frida eyebrow, but I'm sure she gained kind of a hairy back like me with algae. But yeah, so we're going to be so stoked when we get these animals out of these tubs. Basically these tubs are only temporary, and I use them in the winter when the water gets too cold, so I can maintain the temperature of the water for these guys, because they are both tropical species, the fly river and the Badager affinis. So it's very important to make sure the temps don't drop too much because that could be dangerous for them. Of course, them being ectothermic or cold-blooded, that's a problem. So here, I'll just remove this a little bit, let more of it flow out. This one has more full sun, so it gets an algae bloom quicker than this one. I don't mind having the leaf litter in there. They like to burrow into it, and it does provide them some security and things like that. So I like having the detritus at the bottom. But you can see she's well fed, fat and happy. He's still isolated. I want him to continue to heal. So I know it looks boring, but it's just temporary, guys. Once we get this place fixed up, come January, we are going to have a brand new habitat for all these guys. I can retire the tubs except for the coldest of nights, and that makes me very, very excited. Getting these animals a really cool habitat is paramount to why I keep them. That's why you guys will notice I don't just keep getting animals. I like to build things for them first. Who do we got in here? I wanted to do an update and check out one of the turtles in here in particular, whom I am really stoked we got. Oh, well, here's a turtle you guys might like. This is the Ocadia sinensis. This is from my friend Al Roach. This is the Chinese golden thread turtle. Look at that. Golden thread because, of course, of those golden thread-like lines on their heads. Beautiful, beautiful turtle. And this turtle will live in the front ponds with the other Asian species that I possess, that I'm a steward of. And that's really, really cool. So we've got that one. I'm happy to see. And then who else? Who else is floating around here? I wanted to see our Flavo marginata, who's normally hanging out up here, but I don't see him at the moment. So let's see if I gently just probe around. What can I find in the muck? I don't know, friends. It's always a kind of a grab bag, if you will. Always a grab bag. And the turtles are so good at hiding. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Who is this? Who's that running it? Who's this guy? Oh, it's one of our snake necks, and we moved them in here as we needed to use their home for the Slinky when we had the hurricane. I had to use that. But look at that. Sebin Rocks snake neck. Now, I'll be honest with you, I think these Sebin Rocks are going to go live with the Badiger in the Fly River because they get quite large. So I'm going to keep raising these guys up. They're getting such strong shells. They're looking so good, and they're going to wind up being some big turtles. So that'll be awesome. Go ahead, little one. You can get moving. And who else is in here? Oh, I don't know. Is there a little turtle here? It's another golden thread, but I see a little Reeves turtle. Look at this. Oh, look at this tiny little nugget. Tiny little Reeves turtle. One of the hatchlings I found in the front yard, of all things. So that's amazing. Very, very cool. All right, little one. Very good. They're all happy and healthy. Oh, how delightful. Delightful. That's a word you don't use all the time. Let me go show you guys the Badiger borneensis, just so you have an idea. You see how big that female Frida is? Well, these guys are going to get just as large, but if they're male, are going to go through a really cool seasonal breeding color, which is amazing. Their skin turns pink. They get a bright red stripe down their nose, and they're one of the only turtle species that actually does that. I don't know, there's probably some others. I know some of the other Affinis, their eyes get really beautiful in that breeding time. But let's see, who do we got? We get a bit of a drizzle, friends. Here they are. Here they are, look at that. They come right over to you. They get friendly, which is awesome. Pretty turtle. And they will get huge, so eventually they'll live in that pond as well. So it's good to make the plans right now. So awesome stuff. We love it. And I'm excited, friends. We're gonna have a brand new, huge, beautiful Aquascape ecosystem pond for our Badiger and Fly River turtles and our larger species that we keep here. I'm blown away by the generosity from all these people at Aquascape. They're amazing. So just super happy to do it. Hope you guys are gonna be stoked. Let me know, are you excited to see a new pond build here at the camp? Who knows, maybe I'll do something really special with this build. And who knows what'll happen. So stay tuned here on Kamp Kenan. I'm gonna get back to work with these animals. I gotta fill those tubs up and make sure those turtles are nice and happy. See you guys soon.